Hello there, Miss Pink. Peaches in pink.
Pretty in pink.
What pink is this? It's like a blue,
hot
electric pink.
It's a fiery pink.
It's so fiery. Look at you in your pink. Well, hello, Miss Peaches.
Hello, Miss Regina.
How are you?
I am doing good today. How are you?
I'm good. We are back. Oh my God. Does it feel like it's been forever?
Yes, it
It
does.
kind of does. But what are we doing today?
So today we are filming episode 7.
Siete of
Two Sisters Knittin Talkin shit. And we want to welcome all of you to today's episode.
Yes, we are so glad to be back. And I know people are happy when I say Peaches. They don't like me calling you Marian.
Yes, but if you see me in the streets,
don't
please
call her
me
Peaches.
Marian.
You don't know her like that.
Right,
so
right.
But I can't say Marian.
But
I can't
that's
even
okay.
make my lips say it.
That's okay.
And the people don't want it. The KnitShits want me calling you Peaches.
Yes, yes.
And I'm cream.
Yes. Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream.
Wasn't there a singing group back in the 80s?
Peaches and Herb.
Peaches and Herb.
Peaches and Herb.
I knew it wasn't
Right.
cream, but I was like, what was the name of that group? But no, we're not Herb.
We're not Herb.
Peaches and cream.
Peaches and cream.
So we're excited. We've got a great episode lined up for you today. Do you want me to go over the agenda, or do you want to go over the agenda?
You tell them what we're going to see today.
So, of course, we've got another fabulous cocktail for you today. Regina really is the master mixologist. She really is. So it's a good one. So we have the cocktail of the episode. Then we have our new obsessions that we're going to talk a little bit about, which may be old obsessions
Mine
too.
is old, yes.
So we'll talk about our obsessions. We're going to talk about what's on and off of our needles. And we've got a yarn haul for you today.
Oh my God, what a haul it is.
A serious yarn haul.
Serious.
And then we've got shout out.
What the KnitShits,
of
a couple
what
of
the
KnitShits are
are
saying.
And then our closing question. And then we'll
That's
wrap
episode
it up.
7.
That's episode 7.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So we did welcome, intro, agenda, and now we're talking about the cocktail.
The cocktail.
The cocktail. Today we are enjoying a PB&J. It is made with Chambord, which is a very sophisticated black raspberry liqueur. And it's mixed with Screwball, which is peanut butter whiskey. So this is straight alcohol.
Straight alcohol. And no, we've not been drinking.
We have not, but we're getting ready to drink now. Cheers.
Cheers.
Isn't it yummy?
It's yummy.
So
And don't spit on the yarn.
Don't spit on the yarn. But this is one of those things, this is one of those drinks where you're not chugging this back. You're sipping this.
Right.
You're sipping.
You said it was a cordial. So Regina has all the language. I do not.
Yeah.
So it's a cordial.
Chambord is a cordial, which is an after dinner drink. It's very syrupy, it's very sweet, and if this is too sweet for you, or if the whiskey is a little too much, if it heats up your chest a little too much, throw some grape juice in it.
Okay.
That'll cut it.
That'll cut it.
Yeah. So
And PB&J.
PB&J. One more?
One more.
Yummy.
Episode 7.
Yummy.
Very good. Smooth.
Smooth.
Yes. I said smooth.
No.
She said smooth.
Listen, that's that
Smooth.
Smith. That's that Smith. They say smooth. I'm that Hampton. We say smooth.
They say smooth.
If you hear laughter in the background, that's Peaches' mama.
We've got a guest in
We
the
have
studio
a guest in the
today.
studio. I
And
remember
maybe
which my
before the
mom had
end, I
come.
know, maybe before the end of the episode, I can get her to appear on camera. She had said no, but we'll see what we can do so that you all can see who she is. We love her support. Okay. So,
all right. So, new obsessions.
New obsessions.
You go.
So,
I'm gonna drink while you talk about your new obsessions.
I don't know if my obsessions are new, and they have nothing to do with any type of making per se. Well, one thing does have to do with making, and it's the Pearl Soho Classic Beret.
Oh my God.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit. When we talk about yarn hauls and what's on and off of our needles. But that classic beret is to die for.
It's to die for, and yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm dying.
Yeah. But the obsessions that I have, I'm going to say they're my guilty pleasures. Reality TV.
Go on, come with it. Let the people know. Let the KnitShits know what trash TV you're watching. Let the KnitShits know what you're watching.
I know. So my guilty pleasure is reality TV, but not all reality TV. I think if I knew then what I know now, I would have done a completely different career.
I thought you were you would have starred on reality
No.
I would have had an ambition to be on a reality TV show. That's not what you were going to say.
No ambition to be on reality TV, but I do like watching human interaction.
Yeah.
And so I think I would have majored in psychology. Or maybe double majored if I was ambitious in psychology and sociology, and then gone on to get a master's and maybe even a doctorate in that.
Yeah.
Not to teach, but to do some type of counseling or organizational behavior or something like that. So all that to say that the thing that I am obsessed with, but really kind of tired of, Married at First Sight.
Okay.
And this current season has been a mess and is almost over, thank God. But I watch Married at First Sight and Love is Blind. And then the other one that I really, really like, and the new episode hasn't come out yet, but it is called Couples Therapy on Showtime.
Now that is a good one.
And that is excellent.
And that's some of the reality TV, even though they call it reality TV, some of it does feel a little staged. I was going to say manufactured. Staged is a better word. Whereas I watch Couples Therapy.
Yeah, Couples Therapy, you're really watching.
First of all, that therapist is so on point. She is so on point. And what I love about her is we see her performing therapy, but we also see her getting therapeutic supervision, right? Which is what all therapists should have. Absolutely. And I love that show.
Yeah. So those are my kind of guilty pleasures of things that my guilty pleasures.
Okay.
I don't say my obsessions, my guilty pleasures.
I'm gonna say obsession. I don't really watch reality TV. I had a moment in my life when I was watching, The Real Housewives, and then I was just like, I can't watch this anymore. But anyone who knows me knows that I have always been obsessed with The Godfather.
And I'm learning that, not today, but Regina's always saying, and this reminds me of the lesson that I learned from The Godfather.
There's so much to learn from The Godfather 1 and 2. And it's cinematic genius. The acting is amazing. The backstories about the acting is amazing. The origin story of Don Corleone and The Godfather Part 2 is amazing. I mean, it's just everything.
In fact, she's given that to me as homework assignment. Yes. That and watching Django Unchained,
and you have
which
not
I have not watched either.
Bad peaches. But yes, go do your homework.
I know.
Go do your homework. Yes, if you're gonna be, into cinema and movies, those are 3 that you've got to watch. I mean, I like Quentin Tarantino. His thematic approach is always about revenge. Revenge is a theme in most of his films, and clearly Django Unchained is a revenge film. But The Godfather, still, I would say there's so much to The Godfather. It's really a wonderful, there's a trilogy, and the third one I don't speak on so much because I've only seen it a few times. Whereas The first two I've seen over the last 30 years. Oh, I've seen it probably 3-4 dozen times. Okay. And every time it comes on, I watch it. So if you're ever, I mean, I quote Don Corleone. I quote Sonny. I quote Michael. I quote Clemenza. Okay, so if you're a Godfather lover, you know what I just put down. You picking up what I just put down.
All right. They picking it up.
They picking it up. So that is mine, but I think we have others.
What else?
You said something about some boots.
Oh, yes. And I don't have the boots yet, but I will be acquiring. And this is an obsession because I look at their Instagram.
What are they called?
Thunder? Almost every day. Thursday boots.
Thursday boots.
Thursday boots. They make men and women's boots, handmade. But the craftsmanship looks so good.
I've seen their Chelsea boot.
Yeah.
Chelsea style boot.
Yeah. So, and I understand they have a standalone store in New York.
Really?
And then everything else is ordered online. So I don't know if I'm going to get combat boots, if I'm going to get the Chelsea boots are really nice, if I'm going to get their loafers. They've got some nice loafers. Anyway, they look good, and that's
your boot obsession.
My boot obsession.
I have a boot obsession too. Mine, I have like 3 pair of duck feet.
Like the duck shoes that we used to wear years ago?
No, they're called duck feet because they have a really wide toe box, so they're very, very comfortable.
Okay.
And they're super, the leather is just the craftsmanship. And there's several different styles of boot. The boot that I'm obsessed with is the Aarhus. They're made in, I think is it Sweden? No, Denmark. It's a Danish company. I was going to say Denmark. It's a Danish, I guess Danish.
Danish.
It's a Danish company, but they have they sell all over the world, and there's a U.S. Market here.
Okay. And
so I love that boot. And then the other boot is called AS98. They have a freestanding store in New York. It's an amazing leather boot company that is really, they have so many buckles and grommets and zippers and all of these wonderful elements in their boots. So get thee to AS98's website and check out. My favorite boot of the brand is called the Simon. It's amazing.
All right. Well, then I should say get thee to the Thursday Boot Company website too.
Yeah, and feed your boot obsession.
That's right. And if you do have a boot obsession or
whatever obsession
you have, let us know in the comments what your obsession is.
So we said this was new obsessions, and so I still am obsessed with Jess B cooking.
Yes.
Last night she fixed us spaghetti and meatballs. Oh my God. I love her. She makes her own bread, and I think the last time I talked to her, girl, Jess. I've never talked to her. The last time I talked about her, I never even mentioned. I mentioned that she cooks for her family of 6, but I don't think I mentioned anything about her husband because I mean he's involved. They're all involved. So she's a wife and mother. And she is doing the thing with this YouTube and in these YouTube streets, and she is commanding. And so she's making her own bread. It was like
I did see the tacos or something that she made one time where she made her tortillas.
Like not just
from scratch.
Right. This is what I'm saying. From scratch. She was putting the flour in and the water and the salt and all of that. She was making the tortillas. And I was like, ain't no way she ain't been to cooking school or something. But she says she's not a professional chef. But yesterday's menu, and I think when I saw the video drop, it had only been up for about 30 minutes, and she already had 500 views.
Oh, wow.
So people are following her. We want to know what you cooking for dinner, because that's what we want to cook for dinner. Actually, I want you to cook it. But meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs with a lovely salad and garlic bread that she made from scratch. Girl,
Ooh,
Jess
sounds delicious.
Jess is amazing.
Yeah. So my aunt came over last week, and we made a pasta dish, or I made a pasta dish for her. And I bought some garlic bread that I had to just, all I had to do was run it in the oven.
Oh, you mean you didn't make it?
I didn't make it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I have aspirations, maybe one day, potentially, maybe.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know about that, but yeah. Keep on cooking, Jess, and we're going to keep watching.
Yeah. So those are our obsessions.
Yeah. Well, look who joins us today. Well, hello, Mother's Day.
So, we mentioned that you probably are hearing some laughter in the background. This is my mom. So we have an audience today watching us make this video.
And she's enjoying it.
She's a sweetheart. Her name is Marian as well. And so, Mom, let me just ask you a question for the people.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, when you heard that we were doing a podcast and after you saw it, what do you think about the podcast?
I think it is amazing.
Aren't
amazing.
you lovely?
These girls, you should see them. You should read. Maybe one day y'all have a live.
Yeah.
We may
She
do
wants that.
the live,
Yeah.
or maybe a meet and greet or something like that. But anyway, I just wanted you all to see my mom because you will hear her in the background.
Yes.
Really? It picks up like that?
It does. It does. Next time we're going to have a partner in crime for her, and I'll bring my mother, but it's a lot to get my mother ready to take the drive over here. But next time, we're glad to have you. Oh, and you are too.
All right.
My favorite.
All right. So you all met
glad
my
to have
mom.
Mother here.
Yeah.
And let me just say, she's had a drink. She's sampling the drink with us. And she likes
Cheers,
it.
Mom.
Cheers. PB&J.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That really is good.
Very nice.
So we talked about our new obsessions and old obsessions and guilty pleasures. And next up on the
All this
agenda,
stuff on the table.
everything on the table.
And stuff that ain't on the table.
So what's on our needles? What's off our needles? Who wants to go first?
You go first.
So after our last session, I had started working on the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. And I did post a picture on our Instagram page for those of you who follow us on Instagram. But my sweet little kitty cat, Blue, got into my yarn. I stepped away for 5 minutes. I'm holding the yarn double, and I stepped away for 5 minutes to grab something off the stove, and this is what I came back to.
A big old hot
whole mess of yarn that I have been trying to unwind. This is Pearl Soho
Echo
Cashmere. And I think I'm kind of disappointed in this particular yarn because it is very fragile.
Yes.
And so I've been winding it up into a ball, but I have probably broken it about 15 to 20 times just to get this size of a ball. So I got frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna finish untangling or if I'm going to finish untangling that yarn. So what I bought in lieu of that, because this is for a hat for my brother, is more Pearl Soho yarn. And this is their Cashmere Merino Bloom, which is 75% extra fine cashmere merino wool and 25% cashmere. Did I say cashmere merino?
I don't know.
It's
well, that's what it,
yeah, it's 75% extra fine merino wool and 25% cashmere. And the color, because my brother's an Omega, as I mentioned on our last call, and so purple and gold are their colors. And so the color that is most close to their color in this wool is called Deep Pansy. So anyway, that's that. That was an acquisition, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I had started the hat. You see the needles just sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night I realized that it was twisted. So like an infinity scarf.
Mm-hmm.
So I unwound it.
You had to start all
and
over.
wrapped it. I haven't even started over, but I'm going to start all over.
Yeah.
So I had to frog it.
Yeah.
So that is that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that is unfinished, and the scarf that I made for my mentor, I've given that to her, so I don't have that to show.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll post a picture up on our
What scarf
Instagram
was
account. It was the Dauntless scarf.
Oh, that's right. You finished that. Okay.
I finished that.
In that teal.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have it with me, but I'll have a picture of it for you all to see on our Instagram account. But this is the Collins sweater that I was working on the last time. And so the back of the sweater is almost done. I am up to shaping of the shoulders, the back, and the neck. So I've started to shape the shoulders. I've got a little bit more shoulder shaping to do, and then binding off for the neck, and then the back will be done because this one is done in pieces that then you seam up. And the color, this is good wool.
Pearl Soho.
Pearl Soho good wool yarn. And I'll have to post the color in the show notes. So down in the description box, you'll see the show notes because I don't have that with me today. But anyway, that's what's on my needles. And yeah, so that's that. Regina, what you got?
So much. I've already shown the open air that I was doing in the Pearl Soho linen quill. This is super orange, so you can just see how much I've done. Thank you, Mother. She's saying she loves it. And it's beautiful. And you saw the one that I wore last week in the crocus bud. So I have lots of colors of linen quill, and I will probably primarily be knitting up the open air. Even though I have some other patterns that I'm going to talk about when I do my yarn haul.
Yes, yes.
But I like a good wrap and a good scarf, so I'm very much into that right now. And then this, did I show this last episode?
No.
Okay, I think we pictured
posted
it on Instagram. Not a story, but a post. I know the difference.
And you have to watch episode 6 to get that reference.
Yes, yes. So this is the fireside wrap. And I've done the ribbing, and I've begun working on the body of the wrap. This yarn is Hedgerow, and the color, is it Golden Meadow?
Golden Meadow.
I think it's Golden Meadow. I just saw this color and loved it. So another wrap. I'm going to be traveling in the next, I have been traveling, and I'm going to be traveling in the next couple of weeks to very cold Chicago, and so I was hoping to have this finished by the time I go. I don't know if I will.
Okay.
And should I go into my acquisitions, or because I went ahead and brought this? So
are they part of your yarn haul? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's what's next.
All right.
So yarn haul.
Yarn haul. So I'm gonna do a sweater too. Just not anytime soon. And in fact, I think I might even have my swatch from, was it episode 1, maybe episode 2, where we were talking about the
daily pullover.
The daily pullover that she is making me knit. And I very begrudgingly approached the project, and all I've done is a swatch. All I've done is a swatch. We have studied the pattern though, and I do want to get back to it. So it's not that I have an aversion to knitting a sweater. It's not that. Don't be looking at the camera like that. Don't be side-eyeing me. It's not an aversion. It's just for sweaters right now, I'm not even knitting them for myself. So I can take my time getting into sweaters. So I ain't got to do that right now. But this yarn I bought to do the Petite Knits no frills sweater. So this will be held double, and this yarn is La Bien Amie, I think it's pretty expensive yarn.
And it's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
I think purple and shades of purple have been what's showing up on our grid.
Really?
On Instagram.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I don't know why, but it just is.
So this color is, well, let me just say, this particular yarn is called Kumo, and it's 74% baby suri and 26% mulberry silk. And this color, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it's anemone or anemone or something like that. So that's the colorway for this really delicate mohair looking yarn that I will hold double with this yarn, which is a merino single. It's a superwash merino. The color is the same. So yeah, this is a 100% superwash.
So this is lavender, but it also looks like it's got, do I see shades of blue or gray, some white in there? Maybe not.
I don't know. But it's going to make up a really nice sweater.
It is going to make up a really nice sweater. When she holds them double, and when she finally gets to knitting them. It might be
well, listen,
this fall or next year. And that's okay. It's okay.
And this is some expensive yarn. When we said we were yarn snobs a long time ago, but I'm just going to say, there's an Instagram knitter. She's one of the young, she does all the sweaters. And
she's got a twin and a sister.
Yes.
I can't call her name.
I can't call her name right now. You know,
Miss Bobbin. Bobbin is one of them.
Really?
I think.
Listen, she posted something months ago saying, why spend $40 on a sweater when you can pay $400 for yarn and make it yourself? And that I am living into.
Yeah.
And not necessarily intentionally, but it's just kind of turning out that way. And so, yes, this was some expensive yarn. So when I make this sweater, it's going to be made.
Yeah.
It's going to be
But
made.
It's beautiful. And it will be beautiful. It's going to knit up nicely,
I think
too.
so. I think so. All right. So do we want to bust over?
Let's bust over
this?
Yarn haul. Scissors.
Yarn haul.
To open.
Well, actually, I don't even need
You don't need
scissors.
it? Okay.
I don't think I need the scissors. So in this package, this is from Pearl Soho, and there are 10 skeins.
And if you want to
yarn
hand them to me after you do,
I
so
will.
we can make some room.
There are 10 skeins in here. And 10 skeins. 10. They're 10, right? 10 skeins. And so there is linen quill in here, and there's also cat silk. Is it called cat silk? I'll tell you when
you open it.
Yeah. So this,
Exciting.
look at that.
That's beautiful.
So that's linen quill. This colorway is kettle black.
And linen quill is made out of, no, it's linen in there, but
There is linen. So it's 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. So, you know, this is a yarn we do. I mean, all of my open airs are linen quill. We love this yarn.
It really is
It's
nice.
some really nice yarn. As a matter of fact, I had been using and knitting on this linen quill. So when I started knitting this wrap with this hedgerow, I was like, man, this feels like a rope. It feels like it's just so much bigger.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I've got 2 skeins of the kettle black. Love that.
Beautiful.
And this is a very light.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it gorgeous? The cattail silk.
Okay.
It's 100% silk. So these are going to be for my little summer knits. And the plan is there's a, I think it's called a terrace wrap that, we'll put it in the show notes. The designer of that wrap, I can't call her name right now, but it's a really nice lacy wrap. And so I bought this color is called Cherry Blossom. So I bought this color.
And what's the makeup?
It's 100% silk.
Oh, it's 100%
100%
silk.
silk. So it's a very light summer yarn. So I have this cherry. Yeah. So I have this
color.
cherry cherry, what did I say it was? Cherry blossom.
Cherry blossom.
And then the same cattail silk in golden oak.
Beautiful.
So listen, I'm gonna be cruising the world over the summer, and while I'm on the ship,
yes,
I'm gonna have my wraps.
And where are you?
I ain't going. Well, listen, let me not even talk about that. I'm just kind of spitballing. I'm going somewhere. So this is the second.
Okay.
Am I piling you down?
That's okay.
And I have one more cat.
Ooh,
tail
that's
silk.
nice.
Isn't this amazing?
This reminds me of like a birthday cake or something.
I
with
know,
all
like
the colors.
sprinkles. So this is called Flower Field Gray. And I saw it on Pearl Soho, loved it. I mean, look at the texture of this yarn.
It's gorgeous.
It's almost like thread. So it's going to be so light and airy. It's going to be
diaphanous.
It's going to be so flowy and flirty. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to do a lot of wraps with this.
Okay.
And so I have to, Pearl Soho threw in some, this is a sample. This is
like
linen quill. It is in chestnut red. So if you go on their website and look at the open air wrap, one of the later versions, this color is the color that you'll see on the website. So thank you, Pearl Soho, for the little sample. And this color, this is linen quill, and it's called Salt and Pepper. And I think it'll make a fun open air too, just with the kind of, it's not variegated, but kind of alternating black and white color. So this is called Salt and Pepper.
And that's linen quill too.
That's linen quill too. So that's that yarn off. So we can put
lovely.
That. Oh, I got some more, y'all. I got some more.
Somebody's been shopping.
Somebody has been shopping and not eating. Because this stuff, well, they were having a sale. They were having a sale.
And everybody loves a good sale.
Everybody loves a good sale.
And Pearl Soho has good sales all the time.
Great sales. So I have another. Yeah, perfect. So I have another. You can just throw it over there. Actually.
I'm gonna just step off the camera.
So here's another. And listen, we already talked about the beret as our obsession.
Yes, the classic beret.
The classic beret, and there are some bundles. I bought 5 bundles. So don't have those yet. We'll unveil, or we'll do that yarn haul
in the next
episode. So let's see
8.
what this. Oh, I think I know what this is. This is linen quill in the what's the color? Magnolia Blossom. I'm pretty sure that's what this is.
Okay.
So not this haul, but another. Oh, when I bought the wrap. Did I talk about that? The bundle for the. I can't even remember what that
for the
wrap is
wide
called.
rib.
The wide rib wrap.
No, you did not.
I haven't talked about that. Oh.
Because that was
my
after.
gosh. Well, see, you see, when they call it a haul, a yarn haul, because I have poundage of yarn. So this is stuff I haven't even talked about. But anyway, when I received that yarn, they sent me a sample of linen quill in this.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Not mimosa, magnolia blossom. And I was like, oh, I gotta buy that.
Okay.
So I bought that. Isn't that beautiful?
And this is linen quill too.
This is linen quill.
Beautiful.
And again, the color was one of the samples that they sent to me, and this is magnolia blossom. So I had to buy that.
All right.
So there's that. So that's the yarn haul.
None of these are sponsored by Pearl Soho. So Pearl Soho, if you're watching, we love your yarn, and we'd love to maybe partner with you in some capacity.
We'd love to collaborate. Okay, what else are we talking about? All of the needles I bought?
We can do that too. I mean, she did a yarn haul, so we might as well cover it all.
So I feel like listen, I got so many needles. It's like a deck. It's like it's like a card hand, right? I've got so many. So these are the needles that I will need to do the classic beret. They're number 1s. I wanted to give myself some options, either a longer set so I could do magic loop, or a shorter set and I'll use the double pointed. So these are a set of US 2s 40 and 16 inch, and then a set of US ones, 40 and 16 inch.
And do you have a preference for needles? Because somebody asked us that.
They did ask us that.
One of the KnitShits asked us that. So do you have a preference for needles?
I do like Chalgu. Yeah, I mean, I started out.
I'm not gonna say anything.
But she wants to.
My lips are sealed.
She wants to say. She wants to talk. Because she kept saying, "Don't buy that set and don't do this." When I first started and we first started knitting, don't do that. And I was like, "Okay,
you don't tell me what to do.
You don't tell me what to do.
The boss
you
of
are
me."
not." And I was going, yeah, which meant no. I will buy what I want to buy and have gone bankrupt. Buying needles and needle holders and notebooks and all of the things to have all these needles and all this yarn. And so, yes,
I will say, when we first started knitting together, I think Regina had two sets. I'm not talking about two individual pairs. Two sets of were they Addies?
Yes, Addies.
Then she bought a third set.
Chalgu Forte 2.0.
No, those were the last. You bought the ergonomical.
Well, those are Addies. Yes,
those are Addies.
Yes, the ergonomic,
so that was
square needles.
Sets.
Got those, yeah.
And then,
are you counting the bamboo needles that I have? The bamboo set?
No, I didn't think I know about the bamboo set.
Yeah, I didn't tell her.
So we're talking about
bamboo
5 sets.
But
my lips are sealed.
Right, but you're talking. Listen,
no judgment, really.
I know. I give as much as I get. And I think one of those sets I actually gave away to one of the women in our knitting group.
Yes.
Because, I thought, I've got these, I can give her these. And that's quite a gift.
Yes, it is.
So I was very generous. Yes. I'm a very generous pat myself. But I just brought my Chalgu set of 2.0, Forte 2.0. I love this set. And then I have those other Addies that you were talking about in here in my thread and maple. Listen.
And so Regina, I'll just interject. So I might post something up, in our little group chat. And as I did with the classic beret, I just said, wow, y'all. I said I was not going to buy any more yarn. And then Pearl Soho posted up this classic beret. And I think I'm screwed.
Right? I texted back. I responded in a text. Why is Pearl Soho messing with me? Why are they picking on me? They're picking on me.
So anytime any of us post something new, exciting, that caught our eye, that shiny new object.
Alert.
The first person who jumping on it. Regina.
You know what? I want to be the person who is the resource.
Yes.
I want to be the resource. Yes. I want you to be able to ask me.
Yes.
And I say, I don't know. Because I have too much. I ain't even tried it all. But I want to be that person.
Because I did.
You're welcome.
I told y'all back early, maybe episode 1, not maybe, but in episode 1 and episode 2, that if you all could see our text exchange, we cut up.
Well, we cut up.
And so I posted just a little snippet of our text exchange on our Instagram account. And I don't think people knew how to take that.
It was a bit much.
It was a bit much. And I think people were like, ooh, is this for real or not? So if you want to see what our text exchange looks like,
very dramatic.
They were picking on me. As they always do.
The KnitShits don't believe it.
But even though they come at me hard, I come at them hard.
She does. Oh, you listen.
So check that out if you want to see a little bit about what our
ain't no shrinking violence in
like.
this group. Ain't no shrinking violence, and you cannot be a shrinking violence. You have got to stand up for yourself with this one. So
I've learned in the group to stand up because I really am quiet and shy. But go ahead. What else? Anything else?
I think that's all. Some of this stuff I can save for future episodes because it's plenty of stuff. So yeah, I'll save it for future episodes.
Okay. Okay. Great.
All right, what are the KnitShits saying?
Yes,
and a couple of
inquiring
minds
to know.
Well, a couple of their comments struck me, and so I just wanted to highlight a few of them. Tina, the question was, what are you proud of yourself for, or something? I'm proud of myself for, fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
And Tina said that she lost 88 pounds and changed her eating habits and works out. So we are so proud of you, Tina.
We are.
So proud of you. Sylvia is trying her first whiskey sour.
Okay.
I don't know if she's proud of herself for that, but that's what she said.
Well, Sylvia, if you tried it, drop in the comments. Let us know how you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Jay Every is working on being patient with herself and is proud of showing patience to others. And I was like, preach. And then a few that I just kind of wanted to illuminate, or amplify.
Mm-hmm.
Have your video playing at the office while I work. You all are making me want to have a cocktail at noon on Tuesday.
All right.
Can't wait to try Uncle Nearest. So that was a sweet one. Yes, who said that? That was Melissa Sandoval who said that. And then, yes, Michelle says, I'm proud of my accomplishments as a mom, childcare provider, and content creator. We're proud of you too, Miss Michelle.
Absolutely, Michelle.
Beth Clausen says, Peach is so thankful to hear that the cyst is something that you can treat.
Yes.
And then she says, Regina, congrats on your finished object. I've been trying to start a regular walking practice, and I've done so over the past 3 weeks. And she goes on to say that she's proud of herself and thanks us for sharing ourselves and our friendship with these interwebs. So she says that. Carrie Knits, just two more. Carrie Knits says, oh, the laughter, the joy, compassion, and realness that you both are offering all of us is such a gift. Thank you. And she talks about what knitting has taught her. So that's from one of the earlier episodes.
All right.
And then another one from an earlier episode. This was left by the spatially challenged knitter.
Okay.
She says, oh my God, I haven't laughed so hard in a long time, and I'm only at I hate my neck. So that was the second. It was like the second or third podcast. I think it was the second one.
The second podcast.
When I talked about how I hated my neck. So she's thanking us for this podcast.
Well, so I had mentioned that my aunt had come over for lunch earlier in the week, this past week, and she is a retired social worker and came with a friend of hers who is also a retired social worker, and they had not seen any of our videos.
And they're in Atlanta.
They're in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so I pulled up a few and just showed snippets on my computer and then read some of the comments, and they were both saying, even though you and I are not social workers or therapists,
right,
or anything like that.
Which we make that disclaimer when you want our advice.
Right. But they said, even though you're not that, the work that you are doing is therapy. Because I mentioned in the last episode that I feel like, that we're just holding something really fragile in terms of the community. And so that was affirming, I guess, to me when I received that message from my aunt. And the reason I said at the top of the episode that if I had it to do all over again, when I was talking about my obsessions in reality TV, that I would probably have majored in psychology or sociology or both and gone on to do some other things in that. Because I really am fascinated by the human experience and human interactions and where we make mistakes because we're not clear in our communication, or maybe I didn't hear it properly, but I didn't clarify what I heard to make sure. And so then my mind makes up stuff. Our minds make up stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to add that.
Well, there is an interesting, almost science to really what we're doing. And we didn't approach it from that standpoint. I mean, I think we thought we had something to share, and if folks liked it, they would tell us, and you've told us. And we're just kind of rolling with it. And we've received affirmations in a number of ways.
Yes.
The title, you've asked about Two Sistahs Knittin Talkin Shit. And I mentioned in, I think, either episode 1 or episode 2 that it was an album by Branford Marsalis Quartet that inspired the title. And we had shot, I think, 1 or 2 episodes, and Branford Marsalis and I were on the same flight from New Orleans to Atlanta. This was back in December, and that was affirmation. I had an opportunity to share with him how the title of that album from 2012 is what inspired me to, think about our title of this show. And so he gonna get a scarf. He doesn't know it, but he's gonna get a scarf.
He's gonna get a scarf.
He went to Southern. He's a running gun and jag from Southern University, so it will probably be blue and gold. So I mean, I'm just saying. So if anybody knows Branford, I mean, he's a subscriber, so so he will see this, and so Branford, you gonna get you
you gonna get a scarf
handmade
by
Regina, yes, or cream, cream. So there it is. That's what the KnitShits are saying.
Wonderful. We love you, KnitShits.
We
Thanks
love
so
you
much
so much
for being such active participants in our community.
Yeah. All right. So we are really at the wrap-up stage, and we were asked a question: how do we stay inspired when we feel stuck or unmotivated? I was just leaning over because we have a lot of our notes on a whiteboard that are propped up on some blocks in our fancy schmancy studio. So that's why you saw me doing this. But anyway, to the question, how do we stay inspired?
So I think that's one I'm still grappling with. But one of the things that comes to mind and that I'm trying to do, because working on this sweater has been a challenge. I think because it's all of this stockinette. And so I've been getting kind of bored with it. I love the sweater, but just bored with the knitting. And so I think, as I tell our real life knitting crew, if you can just do 5 minutes a day, minimum 5 minutes a day. And so I've been trying to knit. And we're laughing because my mom is in the background saying 10 minutes a day.
She's our in-studio audience.
She's our in-studio audience and our business manager.
Right. So don't worry about her.
Don't worry. I keep saying, Mom.
She's going to be fine.
So anyway, I just try to knit a little bit every day if I can. Or if it's unrelated to knitting, if I can do one thing that's going to move me closer to that goal. Even if I make a mistake, even if I mess up and have to start all over again, what's the next best thing, the next right thing that's going to help me get closer to the goal? So that's what I'm trying to do to help me stay motivated when I'm unmotivated or when I'm feeling stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be challenged. It's not that I don't want to be challenged, but I travel a lot for my work, and I can't travel with a huge pattern that I've got to study and highlight and circle. I can't have all that on the plane. So it works for me with all these wraps that have a pattern that's easy to remember. And doing that every day. And I agree with you, it can get monotonous. But the repetitive nature of like this open air, it's almost meditative.
Yes.
In that you're doing it over and over and over again. But it can get a bit boring. I am never going to knit
I think
socks.
I have to do it in short spurts.
Yeah.
Is what it is. When it's something that's really repetitive like
Yeah.
that, I think I have to do it in short spurts.
Yeah. And I feel as a relatively new knitter that it's all just improving my skills. And like I said, I came to this, a year and a half ago and got serious. Actually, it was a little over, maybe 3 years when I took my first lesson, about 3.5 years ago. But I got really serious about a year and a half ago when I started knitting every single day. And as I just said, and you rolled over it, I ain't never knitting no socks. I guess you shouldn't say never, but I have no interest. A lot of the folks, a lot of the KnitShits, y'all doing socks. Oh, that's great. You took a sock class. I ain't never doing socks.
But that's a great project to take on the plane, and it's small and doesn't require a lot. You see that face? See, this is what I have to deal with, right? So, but tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
So what's the question again?
It's how do you stay inspired when you feel stuck or unmotivated? And the question was brought to us, but we're going to flip the script. We're going to ask you that question too. How do you stay, for you real seasoned knitters who've been doing this, and there are many of you. I mean, we've got knitters in their 70s who have been knitting their whole lives.
Right.
So I think that's a really important question for those of you who are in that kind of category to answer. Let us know what keeps you motivated after 40, 50 years of knitting. So yeah, we want to know that from you too. But that's what kind of helps me. I think too, the other thing is, at the end of this, even though it's nothing but repeats or nothing but stockinette, or even though it's a relatively simple knit, it's going to be a beautiful object.
Yes.
A really lovely object.
Yes.
And so,
and you can say, I made that and feel really good about it.
Yes. So that's what also keeps me motivated. Seeing the end game. Knowing that when I'm finished with this, it's going to be beautiful. And you saw how I was with that open air from the last episode that I finished. Y'all saw me singing Christmas songs. That was a Christmas song.
And
do you see what I see? And spoken word, so.
And she can't see.
So that's what kind of keeps us motivated.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you all so much. This has been another fun episode. And this concludes episode 7 of
Two Sisters Knittin Talkin Shit.
We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.